everyone, Miss Jess from the Monroe Street Art Center, and I have another chalk pastel project for you guys today for your number 11 Pastels art kit. Alright, today we're going to make the Northern Lights. I almost forgot what they were called for a second. Northern Lights, okay? So cool. I love the process for this project. What you're going to need is your black piece of paper or a dark piece of paper. If you had green left, purple, blue, any of those ones, I would recommend using for this, considering this is a nighttime picture. So I'm going to use the other half of my black piece of paper today. A second sheet is going to be used to rip up into pieces. So grab yourself a second sheet that you don't mind ripping up into pieces. We're going to use our chalk pastels, okay, whatever color you guys got. Oops, there we go. And then you're also probably going to want to use your parchment paper too. So go ahead and take that out. I have a pair of scissors on hand today because, as you see, I decided to add a tree line to mine. It's like the foreground. There's probably trees or a forest below these northern lights, okay? So if you have a pair of scissors, grab those as well. All right, so this time, I think I want to actually make one going up and down this way. So I'm going to show you you'll have the sideways view and then one that goes up and down. To do these really cool lines of chalk pastel, it involves ripping up pieces of paper. So here's what I mean. This is the piece that I'm going to rip up today, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. However you rip it is totally fine. We're looking to use the jagged edge, right? That's the part that I ripped off. So for example, I'm going to use this to sort of start to create those like wavy shapes of lights in the background, okay? So I'm going to take my yellow chalk pastel, and on that ragged edge, I'm going to color, and I'll hold it up before I do it here. I'm going to color nice and dark. I'm kind of pressing pretty firm because I need to get a lot of color on here. Okay, it's really powdery. It's just sitting on the very surface of my scrap of paper right now, okay? Now, when I go to set this down onto my black paper, carefully, I'm going to take my finger and smear that color out away from me towards the top of the paper. So I think you guys can see. Okay, now I'll pick it up. Isn't that cool? And it leaves this really awesome looking line. Now, it wasn't quite long enough to go all the way across. You guys can see over here. Not a problem. I'm just going to put on some fresh chalk. Okay, and then again, set it back where I need to sort of finish off my line up here. And there I have it. That's the first one. Okay, now I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to rip a second color to kind of overlap this one. So I'm working sort of from top to bottom, right? The very last thing that I will do is the trees at the very bottom. And I'm going to mix it up this time. Maybe instead of yellow, I'm going to do some purple. So on that ragged edge, I'm coloring a nice, good powdery amount of chalk. And then while it's really nice, I'll set it on top, take my finger and spread it away from me. Okay, and then I can move it down. I might have enough chalk on this one actually. Yep. So cool. Okay, let's see if I can get a really crazy shape. Ooh. Love it. All right, this color I want to do, how about blue? So everyone got different colors in their kits, so these are all going to look totally different. I can't wait to see how they turn out. Okay, there we have it again. Layer it on top. Okay. Ooh, this is looking so cool. All right, so I'm gonna work my way down here. My next piece, let's switch it up. I want to do every single color. I think that's gonna look so cool. Your fingers will get messy doing this. If you find that your fingers are starting to leave like fingerprints on your paper and stuff like that, it can be helpful to have like a wet wipe next to you, or even just like a wet paper towel from time to time to wipe your fingers off again. Or you can just roll with it, right? Looking good. So I still have some more paper that I can rip up here. And any kind of scrap paper is fine for this, you guys. If you don't want to use the paper that came in your kit, you can use something else, right? I think I'm going to add just a few more. It's easy to get carried away, as you guys can see. Let's do some red next. Okay, I'm going to layer this one up on top of the other ones a little bit. Ooh. Looking good, I like that. Okay, I think one more, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do the trees, okay? This time I'm going to use my last, final, the lightest color that I have. I'm out of paper, so I'm going to actually rip up another sheet here. And this one, I used this one earlier. Okay, and this one's going to be a really light, sort of an eggshell white color. All right, and I set this on top. Oh no, I set it the wrong way. There we go. Okay. Awesome, I love it. So you can see it accidentally left a lot of little speckles down here, but I'm gonna go with it because I actually think that looks really cool. I could even flip it upside down. Look at how cool it looks the other way. It reminds me of mountains. So fun. So you guys can experiment with this method. It is so fun, okay? One more thing I'm gonna show you guys, and also with the trees, right? A technique that I used in the other videos is actually taking one of your chalk pastels and using this edge of a scissors to scrape pieces off. So let's see, for example, I'm actually going to flip it back around. Okay, and then it leaves all those little sprinkles of chalk across your page. If you take your piece of parchment paper and set it on top, it's going to help all those little chalk dust stick to your paper a little bit better. And I'm just rubbing it to make sure it's gonna stay. Okay. So cool. Now, the last thing, if I want to have some trees down at the bottom, I've got some extra green paper that I'm gonna use today. So taking my scissors, I first wanna make sure that this is the right width for my paper. Maybe about like that. Oops. Close enough. Okay. If you use your scissors and you cut into it, taking out triangle shapes. Okay, there's a triangle. Cut out another triangle. I think I want another one. Okay, that's my tree line this time. And then this part I can glue down onto the bottom. So I need my glue stick. Here it is, hiding under all my paper. Put glue across the back. And then on top of this, if I wanted to, I could add some details with either my chalk pastels or with my oil pastels. So now that I've got this stuck down, okay, my trees at the bottom. I'm going to use my oil pastels. I have light green and dark green, and I can make them look a lot more like trees if I draw long lines coming down from them. And I'll hold it up in a second so you guys can see. I feel like I need to fill in that space now. That's fine. That's better. Okay, or you could put other details down at the bottom too. Maybe it's not trees, maybe there's a lake underneath the sky, or a cabin underneath the sky. Maybe it's a snowy winter picture. Okay. Ta-da! All right, so they turn out super cool, you guys. If you have like a bigger sheet of paper too, and you just want to experiment with this method of ripping up paper and sort of leaving those marks behind, go for it. It's super fun to play around with, okay? All right, have fun and share your creations with us. We love seeing them.